Hello, Americans. Our president just signed a bipartisan. Wait. Did I just say bipartisan? Now that's a word I don't hear every day. But yes, Congress has now agreed to give $4.6 billion to help the border crisis.
Signing a bill to deliver $4.6 billion in humanitarian assistance to our southern border. This includes funding for medical care, shelters, and increased housing for minors through the Department of Health and Human Services. And Secretary THR is here with us, and with our Vice President, and with some of our great congressmen. We appreciate, thank you very much. For many weeks, Democrats were giving us a hard time, but I tell you, it became a bipartisan bill, and we're very happy about it. And now what we want to do is we have to do a bill for border security, and all of this will go away. I want to thank Mexico, because Mexico is doing a lot right now. They have almost 20,000 soldiers between the two borders. They have 6,000 on their southern border by Guatemala. And they have about 16,000 at our southern border. And the numbers are way down for the last week because this just took place over the last few days, over the last week, and it's way down, as you can imagine. But we have to do a bill on border security, and we can solve the problem entirely at our border.
Way to go, Mexico! Hey, they have been doing more to help our border crisis than our own Congress. Muchas gracias. The people of Mexico are happy too. Some of the most in favor of better border security are Hispanics. Just listen to this.
They're great people. They love our country. They know what's coming in. And you know who knows it better than anybody? Hispanics. Hispanics love what I'm doing. Because number one, they don't want to lose their job. They don't want to take a pay cut. And very importantly, most importantly, they don't want to have crime. They understand it. The people that understand the border the best are Hispanics. They understand it better than anybody. And they don't want to have to suffer crime. And they don't want to take a pay cut. They don't want to lose their job. That's why my poll numbers went way up with Hispanics, because they really understand the border the best of anybody. Okay.
Democrats have long been denying that there was a crisis at the border. Now they are freaking out and pointing the finger at all the poor families all crowded together and suffering at the border, and blaming President Trump for not doing anything to take care of all of these poor people. Are you kidding me? You just can't make this stuff up.
We told them about a crisis. They said it was manufactured. They laughed and they scoffed for months. And then it turned out that it wasn't manufactured. It's a crisis. We were right about that. We told them that the detention centers are really full, and they've got to change the loopholes, and they have to change asylum. They have to change the immigration laws. We can do it quickly, but we have no votes to do it because the Democrats won't vote. We need some of their votes. But the New York Times story is a fabrication. Now, I look at things and I saw visually, I had people there that told me the job that they are doing is incredible. And in all cases, if you look, people that came from unbelievable poverty, that had no water, they had no anything, where they came from, those are people that are very happy with what's going on because, relatively speaking, they're in much better shape right now. The Border Patrol and all of the law enforcement that's working on the border, it's incredible what they're doing. They've had to become nurses. They've had to become janitors. They've had to become things that they were never trained to do, all because the Democrats refused to change the loopholes and the asylum laws, the immigration laws. So I think it's a disgrace.
So now that they have the money to help with the crisis, if the Democrats really wanted to help the crisis at the border, it will now take how long? Let's ask our president.
I always say 15 minutes, make it an hour. It's very simple. These changes are very simple.
Well, there you have it. It could all be changed so fast if only our Democratic leaders cared more about the migrant crisis at the border than fighting anything President Trump wants to get done. And what are his motives? Why is he so mean to the poor illegals?
And most importantly, we must eliminate all incentives for smuggling children and for smuggling women. They're smuggling women through borders, and the borders that don't have the wall, or the borders where you can't physically have security because it's so many miles. You know, we have 2,000 miles of border. So they're smuggling in women and they're smuggling in children, and they're using the children in particular as pawns for getting other people into our country, because when you're with a child, even if the child's not yours, which in itself is ridiculous, that it's much easier to come across and come into our country because the laws are very bad. Our immigration laws are very bad. And right now, smugglers coach migrants to travel with minors and to send minors alone to gain easy entry into the United States. Catch and release must stop. DHS must have the authority to humanely return minors to be with their families in their home countries. It's right now a situation where nobody knows what they're doing because our laws are so bad, and it can be changed in, I always say 15 minutes, make it an hour. It's very simple. These changes are very simple. It's changes to the asylum. If we change asylum, we can have 75% of it done. The rest has to be done on the loopholes. Vast migrations out of Central America undermine the future of those countries, and these countries now, they want their children back. They're actually wanting their children back.
Thank you, Mr. President. And don't you ever stop fighting for the good. I say that this is definitely another home run.